Heidi Ho, my peeps. Today finds me continuing my zucchini saga. I'm making a filling that is some breakfast sausage I found in the freezer, some ground beef. I've seasoned it with fennel, salt and pepper, a little bit of rosemary. And the green that you see there is the tail end of my basil out of the garden. I just chopped it a little bit and threw it in there. I also tossed in a can of diced tomatoes, a can of traditional spaghetti sauce. I've got some breadcrumbs in here. And here are the zucchini. I figure I can probably stuff, I don't know, 8 to 10 zucchini. And then I'll have a few left over. I'm thinking about putting them on the barbecue tomorrow and calling it done. The filling's just about done. I added some crushed garlic, but something else. See if you can take a look and see what it is. Yeah, you see the walnuts? Walnuts are something I have another embarrassment of, just bags and bags and bags of walnuts. I need to get on the stick and make oatmeal cookies for Grant with walnuts and more of those dessert breads with walnuts. Walnuts are a blessing to me because I can't stand them, so I can put them in stuff and then I'm not going to want to eat it. Of course, I don't really want to eat anything like this anyhow. I even tested myself with Judy's donuts, but you know, anything I can do to help myself get across the finish line, I'm gonna do. So now I gotta slice those guys up, get them all stuffed and in the oven. Okay, I've hollowed out 6 zucchini. I could have used the insides, but I put it down in here along with the pieces of over the hill basil. That'll all go to the chickens in just a little while. So to my filling, I'm going to add the rest of my Italian 3-cheese blend. I think it came from Costco, I'm not positive. You know, good, yummy, kind of Parmesan-y. Smells good, but this is the bomb right here, this Pecorino Romano. It's, as you can see, almost $20 for this little chunk, and it's worth it. And let me tell you why. It takes very little of this stuff to flavor a filling or an omelet or whatever. It's extremely strong and smells marvelous. So because of that, I'm going to use all of my cheap cheese. Pull out the little piece that's got mold, nobody will ever know, and about half of this, because I like to use this on Grant's omelets in the morning. So those cheeses are going to go in here into my filling, and then I will put a little mozzarella on the top. I've got my oven preheating at 350. I've put a little bit of my Verney olive oil on the bottom of that nice big shallow Dutch oven. Verney's olive oil. They grow it, process it, and bottle it right down the street from me. You cannot get it any fresher than that. Okay. I managed to get 2.5 zucchini in there. I drizzled a little olive oil over the top, sprinkled some mozzarella on it as well as some breadcrumbs, and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, dang, can't I get more? And I realized, of course I can. What I can do is simply layer it. There's no law that says that I can't layer these up like this, fill them, and then when it's all done, cut it up as if it were a you know, a casserole. There's no law that says I can't, so I'm going to. So look at that. Being willing to think outside the box and layer those suckers up allowed me to get all 6 zucchini into this little Dutch oven. And now these puppies are going in at 350. Okay, so I went back in the pantry and I found this nice big aluminum banquet style baking pan. And this is looking kind of dryish, I'm thinking. So I'm going to add some tomato soup. I know tomato soup sounds counterintuitive, but I really like the taste of tomato soup when it's added to something, because it adds kind of this mellow, buttery flavor. And I think if I slice up the rest of those lengthwise and layer them with, with that stuff and some cheese, I think that's going to make a really nice casserole. So here's layer number 1. Again, I sliced up 6 of these. I did add 2 cans of the tomato soup, but that didn't seem to be enough juiciness, so I'm pouring a little bit of this over the top of the meat sauce when I put it on top of the zucchini. So I think that'll give me just enough liquid. I'm down to 8 zucchinis, yay! I've got this all layered up. I overfilled it like I always do. I'm going to tint some foil over the top of it, let it cook, and then when it's just about done, I'll add the rest of the mozzarella on top and leave it to finish up uncovered so it gets all browned and bubbly. Okay, I've got the casseroles in the oven, 2 of them there. And I did a pretty good job of cleaning up after myself. I made a manual washing machine using my drill earlier, and 2 buckets from Harbor Freight and a dollar store plunger, and I will show that I'm going to link the video that I followed on how to make it, and I'll give you a little look-see at how it works here in just a few minutes. But right now I think I'm going to go sit down and have a little talk with all of you. Oh wait, I want to show you something else. This is really cool. Grant got this for me. It's a cordless fan. It runs on a fairly strong battery, and boy, this thing, I have it kind of turned down now, but it is perfect for dragging around the house depending on where you need a fan. Boy, does that ever change the game. Woo! That was a lot of cooking. I guess my casseroles have about 30 minutes more before I need to go in and check them. After that's all finished, I'm thinking about making a pear cobbler, peach cobbler, from some canned peaches that I had lying around. It's one of those dump recipes. You dump in the butter and the sugar and the everything. You stir it around in the little casserole pan, and you dump on the canned peaches and you throw it in the oven. Very cafeteria food-esque, but I know Grant will really like it, and I can make something like that and stick it in the freezer, and then every once in a while shove a piece under his nose, and he will appreciate it, and I will get rid of all this extra sugar and flour I have lying around. But now I want to talk about my shirt. Well, let's see if that stays. All right, this is my shirt. Do good, have fun, die happy. Yep. I have been living by this motto, or trying to, for a while now. And it isn't always easy. It's not always easy to do good. It is not always easy to have fun. Um, but I sure hope that it's going to be easy to die happy, because I think about that now. I never really did until the past few years. I think about, let's say I live to my 86.7 years, or however long the actuary tables say I'm going to live, and I die of some final illness, like, let's say, I don't know, kidney disease or something like that. And I'm an old lady, and I'm feeble, and I'm lying in my bed in hospice with lots of good drugs on board, my family coming in every once in a while, nervously, not knowing what to say. And as I'm lying there, I know that my life is going to not flash before my eyes, but I'm going to go back in time in my mind, and I'm going to examine my behavior, my choices, all of that. And I know that I'm going to have a huge chunk of things I will regret. Bad choices, bad behavior, selfish actions, stupidity sometimes, ignorance a lot of the time, which can be forgiven to an extent, but stupidity. But I know buried in all of that, I have memories that will renew my faith in myself, that will help ease me through my final illness for as long as my brain's active. And so now, at almost 65, let's say I've got 20 years left, maybe. Probably not, but let's say I do. I want to live by this as much as I possibly can, which doesn't mean that I'm not going to make lots of mistakes. I will. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to make poor choices. I will. But I want to keep this motto in the forefront of my mind as I move through whatever rest of life I have left. So to that end, I've done things like, as you guys know, I helped Mike relocate out of here. I went so far as to facilitate more money for him from Social Security, some of that. Made sure I was in contact with his son and his friend that he stays at. But no, I'm out of the loop now. I'm done. He's been transitioned to other people. But I feel real good about all of that. Doing good, more doing good. It's funny, I've had a lot of friends who've had to deal with the government recently via online, friends and family, via online portals, and they've just been stumped, stalled, intimidated. They don't know which way to go. I'm going to see a movie tomorrow with one of my friends who is at the point where she needs to make contact with Social Security so she can figure out what supplemental insurance she wants to pay for and how much and all of that. But it's a little bit beyond her. So I'm going to help her do that. I'm going to go to her house a couple hours early before we have to leave for the movie, and I'm going to walk her through the process. And luckily, the both of us, we have the same insurance anyway, so I can show her what I did, and it'll probably be what she wants to do. I may have already talked to you guys about this. Forgive me if I do that. I have a tendency to overstate stuff. Anyhow, there's that. There's been a couple other people that I've been doing this kind of thing with. My neighbor just bought his very first sewing machine. Yay! And I was going to go over this week, and I need to text him and find out, let's make a plan, because I didn't hear from him this weekend. Anyway, I'm going to go over and help teach him to sew, basically, which is something I've been doing my whole life. My grandmother taught me to sew when I was about 7 or 8 years old. In fact, I still have her knee throttle Nietzsche machine from the 1960s. So I ended up with that, and that made me real happy. I haven't used it, but I should probably pull it out and start using it. And then there's other little things that I have on my calendar, people I'm going to get together with to, help facilitate something for them. Oh, my neighbor's dog. My neighbor has this adorable little pit bull mix puppy. It looks like pit and boxer, maybe. Adorable little puppy. I don't know if it's been very well trained or if it's just naturally has a great personality, because when it gets out, it comes over to our house, and it's this big, it's not that old. And it'll come over here and follow the cats around and chase the chickens a little bit, but when it sees me, it comes on over and it stays with me the whole day. I think I in another video I talked about the first time this happened, and the neighbors were at their business down the hill in the big town down the hill, and they weren't coming home till like 10 o'clock at night, and the puppy showed up around 9 in the morning. So it stayed with me all day. I had to go into town. I brought the puppy with me. I got the puppy a pup cup at Starbucks, and we just had, a high old whore of a time, as my friend Dave would say. And yesterday was kind of similar. I didn't take the puppy anywhere, but he came over and went in the house and hung out in the yard. And finally, at night, after 8 o'clock, he crawled behind my recliner and he lay down on a pillow that's back there, and he fell asleep. He had a full day. So anyhow, instead of getting on the phone and being like, you've got to send somebody over to get your dog, I'm like, nah, I can play babysitter. I can be a puppy sitter for a little while. It's not like I have to go somewhere like the puppy's causing any problems. And so that's another very small do good thing. As time goes on, I want to find more and more opportunities to do some good, while not overextending myself to the point where it starts to affect my health or my well-being. And so I guess that begs the question, well, if you're not willing to go above and beyond, then how good is it really? You only go as far as you feel like you can, that's comfortable. Good question. I don't know, but I know that that's the way I've got to do it. So maybe that'll be another thing that I have to face when I'm dying. So we'll see. Have fun. Oh man. It's one of the reasons I'm sitting up here in the doorway of the Airstream right now. I was talking to a YouTube friend of mine, and she'd seen the last video, and she says, you should turn that Airstream into your retreat. That should be your she shed, the Airstream. It's perfect for it. And you know what? Gosh darn it, she's absolutely right. It is perfect for it. So I'm seriously considering doing that. Now, of course, that will entail paint and paper and, tin ceilings and lots of interesting fabrics and antique furniture, all this junk I've got lying around. It's not like I have to buy any of this. I have it stacked up everywhere. And I kind of look in this trailer and I think, yeah, I could do that. I could do that easy. And then in front of the trailer, I can build a little, like a little deck pretty easily. And yeah, I think I might do that. In fact, I think that what I might do is build my greenhouse down in the garden, do that first, fix up my Airstream, all Coolio, Baja, cozy, Mackenzie Childs, Magnolia Pearl looking, and leave the garden house itself to be built later, maybe in the spring or whatever, or maybe not at all. But I think I am going to do the garden house. I do want to have a garden house. But by throwing, a few days into this place, cleaning and all of that, maybe a week, that will achieve a really nice retreat for myself until, next spring or summer. So I think that's going to be fun. It'll be a fun project. Concurrent though, I do need to get working on my greenhouse. I'm going to need my greenhouse in the spring to get all of my seedlings started. So plus I've got, 27 windows that I need to work into the greenhouse. I don't want them just sitting there. I want to get them up in their frames and at least a roof on as I finish that up slowly. So that's all part of the have fun for me. That's fun. Believe it or not, cleaning is fun. I love to clean. I just don't allow myself the time to do it when I've got a bunch of other stuff going on. And cleaning isn't just vacuuming, dusting, doing the laundry, and washing the dishes. Cleaning is also cutting out the old limbs of the trees, dragging them down, cutting them up with my new chainsaw, raking these leaves that when it gets wet are going to be dangerous because they'll be real slippery, getting all that taken care of. Fun is scrubbing down my porch, which I have not done yet, but I will, and I do enjoy that. All of that's fun. Fun is going into my front yard and picking out all the spotted spurge, damn spotted spurge. Out, damn spotted spurge. So I like to do that. I like to water. I like to clip my roses. You get the drift. I just like to tidy up. I enjoy it. So in between morning chores, evening chores, having to go to town every once in a while, dealing with little crises that come up here and there, I'm doing as much of that kind of stuff. The fun cleaning, which really clears my mind. So I plan on staying the course, continuing to do this stuff, and at some point, whether I'm hit by a car and I've just got a few moments of my life flashing before my eyes, or I have a heart attack, or I die of kidney disease or cancer, or my plane falls out of the sky, which will probably never happen because I'm scared to death of flying, so I'm not going to get on a plane except for in a dire emergency. So let's say, or the Queen Elizabeth II sinks with me on it, because that's the only way you're going to get me to Europe. No matter what it is, there will be time when I'm thinking about my life, and I want to make sure that when that time comes, I can die happy because I did the first two. So that is the story of my shirt. I'm going to link my shirt to in the description. This is one of the shirts that I have on my Amazon merch site. I have a few other designs as well, but nothing that's, they were just kind of stuff I was kicking around, sort of placeholders. Interesting, but this is the shirt that I really love, because this shirt is original. I've never seen this anywhere, although it probably exists, but it came to my mind as I've been thinking about how I want to live the rest of my life. So if you want to get a shirt like mine, go to Amazon merch, linked below. I also have a Redbubble site, and I guess I could link that one too. It sort of doesn't matter. I can't remember which. I think the Redbubble site is the one that has all the different stuff. The pillows, the tote bags, the phone covers, the long sleeve, the short sleeve, the hoodies, all of that. So if you want something other than just a standard t-shirt, go to the Redbubble link and you can see that. But anyone can get a Redbubble account, but not anybody can get an Amazon merch account. Apparently they're much harder to get than I realized. And so when I applied for my Amazon merch account, I expected to be denied. But boy, 3 days later, bam, you've got your account. You start uploading designs. So this is my first real design, and it is probably the one I'm going to be the most proud of because it is the closest to my heart and soul. So yeah, that comes to the end of my little monologue. It is now time for me to go inside, check my dinner, feed the chickens, well, I can't feed the cats till after dark because the chickens eat all their food. So I'll feed the chickens, feed the horses, and, you know, kind of snuggle in for the night. So I hope all of you, whether it's day or night, whenever it is, and you see this, I hope you're having a wonderful time and that you're doing as much good as you can and having as much fun as you can. So when this thing happens, it'll happen just like that. Talk to you guys later. Bye.